Welcome back to Northamptonshire Football Podcast. Me and Sam here. Sam, you alright?
Yeah, not too bad, mate.
Good man. And obviously special guest tonight, Mitch Austin. How you doing? You alright?
All good, thank you.
Good man. Thanks for coming on.
You're welcome.
It's been a while. I've been messaging you. I finally got you here.
Yeah, finally got me.
Good man.
Big bonus, wasn't it?
That's it. Yeah.
Big payday.
Yeah, man. Hopefully. We'll see. Obviously, we're going to go through your career and stuff. Look at where you've been, what you've been up to, and obviously where you are now. Harborough Town now. Do you want to touch on your game at the weekend first?
Yeah, disappointing loss to St Neots. We're in a bit of a slump at the moment. Played really well considering the form that we have been on, and lost it to a bit of a sloppy error and a 1-0 loss. And we went back home with our tails between our legs. So back to the drawing board, as they say, the old cliche. We'll try and go again Saturday.
What do you reckon it was? It just a bit of a poor performance from the lads, or was it something more to it?
We lost our striker Paddy Island, who was a big physical striker. Went to Australia, met a bird over Christmas, went for a little break, and then come back. He said, "Gaffer, I'm moving out there." So at the time, I didn't realise. I was never gonna. I wouldn't have been able to hold him back anyway because it's Australia.
Yeah.
And
a bit different to here.
I wanted him to, especially with the snow, and I wanted him to go enjoy his life. Yeah. But I didn't realise the extent of actually losing him and not replacing him for like. I brought another striker in who wasn't, 6'2", physical, and we just lacked that little bit of a bulldog up there. To be fair, so we're trying our best to try and replace him.
Is that you on the hunt then for another striker?
Yeah, I was going to probably play myself up front, but I think I'll only have the last 10, maybe 5, and I won't be able to run the channels. But at the moment we're trying to recruit. There's not long left of the transfer window as such, but it might be a case of now we're out of the playoffs. So it don't look like we can get it. Just be planning and preparing for next season.
Yeah. You say about bringing yourself on now. I see you set piece on your
Twitter. Yeah. Took about 100 shots to get that one.
Yeah.
To be fair, got a little knack to it hitting a free kick. Hit some nice ones in my little old Sunday League days, but just got a knack for whipping one in. To be fair, and was having a bet with a lad, and it come off. Yeah. And I would never be able to do it again. It come off. So I live off that.
Fair play. Obviously, we'll touch on the Harborough Town stuff again soon, but you mentioned playing there then. So, hardest man to research. I've been looking everywhere, trying to find something. I find you play for Blisworth. Is that the only team you play for?
To be fair, I was a bang average Sunday footballer. Yeah. Bang average. I was always a big lad, so I always struggled with going to ever be at a decent level. Sunday League, Reserve, UCL was my level. No better, but I had really good leadership, so I was always gutted that my brain and my body weren't aligned.
I don't know that story, Jesus.
Yeah. I went early doors, knew that I had good leadership, so I knew that my passion for football led me to management and not the playing side of things, because I could aspire to get to as highest level as possible with that, where my body and being a big lad always held me back. So Sunday football at best. I had a team. Started out playing and managing of a club called Loco Moulton for around 4 years, and it was brilliant. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. One of the best times of when I look back. And then done a little bit with Cotton Hill. It was like a cameo player. Just used to, because they were so successful, just wanted to jump on the wave, to be fair. And a little bit for Stanwick Rovers. We had a Sunday team there. My friend Jim over in Chester, he had this team. So what we used to do, we used to get all the lads from Northampton, go over there and play in like the Rushton League or whatever. And I think we won a double there. I think we won the County Cup and we won the league. Yeah, nice. But that's, as I say, bang average Sunday League footballer.
So, am I right in saying you played for Blisworth then, or was that wrong?
I think it's wrong, yeah.
It's wrong?
Yeah, I think it might have been Blisworth Cotton Hill. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I think they would have been called Blisworth Cotton Hill under Andy Hopkinson.
Yeah.
So,
Need to get you research
I
that
know,
a little bit
yeah.
better,
Yeah,
don't
we
we?
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to be fair, when you said, it's hard to research because there's nothing to research, to be honest.
Yeah, to be fair, we had Dan Holman on there, and obviously he's got a Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, unfortunately, I ain't at that level.
No. But obviously, was that it then? Obviously, going management, was it just, you said obviously you weren't a good enough player.
Yeah.
Was it just the love of football then? That's why you went into management, or just
loved it as a kid. Played youth football throughout my younger career. I was actually a goalkeeper. Hence why, I was the fat kid who got put in goal. In all respects, and I was shit at that. I was a shit goalkeeper. I remember being in a five-a-side tournament when I was younger, when I lived in Essex, and I let in a goal through my legs, and I started crying. I could only been about 8 or 9, and I thought, fucking hell, this ain't for me. And then when we moved up to Northampton, I started playing out on pitch from a school team, and I was always captain. I was always probably never the best player, but always one of the leaders. I strived in, I was just a natural leader. I had good leadership. It sounds really cringy saying it yourself, but when I look back, my leadership qualities outweighed my ability to be a football player.
So the indicators were always there then?
Yeah, it was always that. That was the route to go, because if you wanted to stay in football, I wasn't going to go to a level that satisfied me with playing, but I knew that I could aspire to be the best that I could be as a manager.
Yeah.
And I suppose just the older you get, your desire to what you want to do changes a little bit. Family life. I remember when I was first starting, it was like, fucking want to be in the Premier League or want to be full time, but I have no ambitions to be full time or anything like that. I just want to be a good non-league manager.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, what year did you start your badges?
Badges I started, cool, I wouldn't be able to tell you the year, but it was got to be a good 8 years ago, level 1, when I'm a level 1. And I remember thinking, because I think I was probably still knocking a ball about them myself, and I was thinking, fucking everyone here is shit. Yeah. Just thought, this is like so painful, it's such a crap course. It was like bulldog, run the balls in the middle, come back out, and then I'd done my level 2 around probably a year after, and then that was slightly better, but also had its. I really struggle with classroom work. I hate it. So, but with football, it engaged me. It gave me a reason to concentrate to an extent. Was never the cleverest of kids at school. Not no high grades or anything like that. Always a bit of a joker. So with them courses, especially when it went into more classroom and thinking about evolving as a coach, 2 was definitely a lot better than 1. And then I was lucky enough to get on my B, but my B was hampered with COVID. So a course that would have been 2 years turned into something like 3.5, and many delays, sessions that we'd go to and then they'd cancel it. You was segregated when COVID was around. It was just crap.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, my B was crap because of COVID. I had some really good tutors in Paul Curtis, still talk to now at Tresham College. And even then I'd look around, not everybody, but then I'd still think there was for me, there's a lot of bullshit that comes with the coaching badges, and you'd have a 65-year-old bloke who's on his UEFA B, but he's, and no disrespect to girls football, but it'd be like an underage 8 girls coach, and then they'd ask things like, well, what's your philosophy? Yeah. And everyone's philosophy was the same apart from mine. Playing out from the back, playing through the thirds, possession based, everything Pep Guardiola-esque, because that's what the coaching handbook is. They're very much creating coaches, and everyone thinks that they've got to do it this way to be the ideal coach. And so even with them courses as well, I definitely evolved as a manager and a coach, and you certainly think about the game differently and how you're going to approach your sessions and do your sessions. Mm-hmm. But all in all, a load of crap, if I'm honest.
Yeah. So I was speaking to, going back to level 2, I was speaking to Jack Messenger.
Yeah.
He told me he said, he laughed at me, he said you should have failed that. But
I should have failed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that over?
Well, Jack Messenger's playing combination football, isn't he? And I'm in the Southern League, so I think that says it all.
Was there not something happened? No, an incident or something he was saying?
I probably turned up late.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I'm terrible timekeeping. Well, I was then terrible timekeeping. Yeah, I can't remember. To be fair, they passed a lot worse coaches than me, and I don't think
it was having a dig or anything like that.
Oh no, okay,
I think he
sorry.
was insinuating there was a funny story.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember the story now. Sorry, now you've mentioned it. Sorry, Jack, I was fucking going for you there. There was a guy called Andy Paul. Yeah,
as in the ex-goalkeeper.
Yeah. So he was one of the tutors, and I had Andy Paul 1, 2, and B. Yeah. And I remember he said something to me, and I'm very much just what you see is what you get. And I think I might have sworn, and he spoke to me like I was a piece of shit. Right. And I remember biting back at him. And then we went back to the classroom, and I said, as we was walking back, and he was trying to like put a shoulder around me, and I said, "There's multiple times where you've dug me out." I think he also said something about my weight. If I'm honest, yeah, and he's a big fat turd anyway, to be honest, and I want to leave that in. He was just one of them blokes that didn't like a lad who, wasn't bailing down to him, and I probably should have not continued that course. To be fair, no, but I did get us. They give them out like confetti, so I got through it.
Fair play.
Hey, listen, if you want the truth, I'm going to tell you the truth. There was times in that course where people shouldn't be passed. There's people that shouldn't be passed.
Yeah.
There's people I know who could claim to be a UAFB coach and wouldn't know how to run a football team.
Yeah.
They wouldn't know how to put on a session. So it doesn't matter what the badges you have. Badges come with personality. If you've got a bit of personality, you can be a better coach. If you're a UAFB coach, UAFB coach, and you've got zero personality, you're knackered anyway.
I'll be honest, I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah, it's just
in the slightest. Couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah, it's a bit of facade, to be fair. Everyone likes waving their certs around and things like that, but I know some really good, really crap coaches that's come out of that and done nothing since. So I think the proof is games. I think in your ability to be valued is winning games of football, progressing youth if you're that sort of manager, and just getting 3 points. That's the key. That's if you look at football, no matter how you coach, if you can get 3 points on a Saturday, there's the value. Because any club would have you, because they know you can get 3 points. If you can affect games, if you can be tactically astute in games, if you can work out what you're doing wrong and to do better to turn things around, that's value. I've seen a lot of people with characteristics that don't have ability to win football games.
No. Yeah. Would you say is any of them in your league, do you reckon?
Our league is full of absolute class gaffers, and that's the one thing. The UCL, for me, nobody wants to help nobody. No. Nobody likes anybody else to have any sort of success. Everybody hates winners. In our league, I speak to Gary Setchell's very close to me. One of my best mates in football, Ricky Maheineke, who's a level above, Graham Jury, who's top of the league, Hal Zane, Gaffer's Ledge, Bodmere St Michael's Gaffer Ledge, Shepshed, Damo, Ledge, and all these people that you can call up and ask for advice, whether it is an old player that he's had, whether it's who you're playing next week, if you've got a report on it. You never got that with the UCL. People just wanted to keep what they had for themselves, but I find with that, if you don't want to share, it's because you've got something to hide.
See, I'm not convinced that's just UCL. So I know some of the things that you do as a coach and some of the things that the philosophy you have. And I'm a bit of a scout, as you probably know from listening to the show. And I do scout reports on teams that I'm coaching. I'm happy to share them with the other 18 coaches, as long as they're not arseholes to me. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? It's one of them. It's proper.
That's the benefit of your work. Share a lot. Yeah. Also, you want to see people. Your talents. If you can highlight a game and give it to your opposition, to someone that you're close with, and it can affect their game, you've done them a favour. Yeah, 100%. They owe you one, and then it comes back in things come back in the long haul.
Yeah, 100%.
So, we'll go on to your career. I might have got my notes wrong, like you said.
Yeah. Fucking
hang on a minute. There's a coach on the show that's got more tracksuits and more clubs than I've ever had, didn't you?
I haven't. I haven't.
So I've got you down then. Bugbrooke A assistant is your first job. Is that wrong?
Yeah. Best job I ever had.
Yeah.
I remember walking up. I was telling to
obviously he's not counting you, Harborough Town, yeah.
Yeah. For me early, Bugbrooke's always me love. Everyone knows it. They'll still go out there now, welcome me with open arms. Probably go out there Friday for the cup final. speak to the chairman regularly, speak to their gaffer now. Any new gaffer in, try my best to support. I sponsor their first team. You know, I'm not like, no affiliation, but just because they give me an opportunity, I try to return something back. But I remember seeing the advert, and it was Bugbrooke A. And what the reason why I wanted to get into football was because I had Sunday league team, but all my good mates played in the Prem. And I think I was probably Div 3 or something like that. And I was going like likes of Duffy, like, boys, come play for me, Eddie Stewart, come play for me. And they're like, no, we're playing the Prem, what are you on about? Like, why are we going to come play for you in Div 3? So I was like, how the fuck am I going to get all these good lads that I know on a Sunday to play for me? And I thought, I know, I'll be a Saturday manager. Yeah. And then I'll get every good lad I know and then do the Saturday. So I had that age job come up. I remember saying to my missus, it was like applying for Man United or like Tottenham. I was like going up there and going to see him and that. And when I met Kev Gardner, he showed me around. He went, do you want a job? And I went, yeah, I'd love to. Like, buzzing, absolutely buzzing. And he said, yeah, you got it. And I come away, I phoned him, fucking hell, I got the job. Like, I got the job. Bugbrooke St Michael's fucking massive. Like, this is fucking unbelievable. So, done what I thought, had the bit of vision, got all the boys from the Sundays, come over, done really well. I think we lost the league by about 3 points, but we scored about 120 goals. I think we got deducted 3 points to playing a ringer. By the time I was very naive. We went to Corby away, and I played a ringer and made the FA come down and caught us one game. So anyway, we got deducted. We lost it to Blisworth. And I remember at that time being Bugbrooke A. And this is going to sound fucking stupid now, but I had a 10-year plan to get in the UCL. So I made a 10-year plan. My plan was, in 10 years, I want to be a UCL manager. That was my goal. And I've done it after a year. Yeah. Because we've done so well. And then, obviously not at the best of clubs, but done it after a year. And then, after that journey, I had to, come back to the budgets.
Yeah. Fair play. So then I've got Woodford, but you reckon there's a few in between that?
No, it's Bugbrooke A, and then after that season was finished, I went in the first team with Paul Field as assistant manager, and I didn't like it. I liked Paul Field; he was a good guy, but I just weren't suited as a number two.
It's difficult being a number two.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult. At the time, I had no badges, so I was very much just gaffer. Do you know what I mean? I was just gaffer to the lads, and I was playing then, and then. Went in with Paul Field, and after pre-season it just didn't feel right, and then Woodford job came available when they got demoted from the Southern League to leagues because of financial issues, and I thought, fucking hell, like these lost something like, I think it was like 50, I can't remember what it was. No, I'll tell her, like I left Fieldy, and then about 4 games in they got relegated. 4 games in they lost like 10-0, 7-0, 8-0, whatever. And I was like, mate, I'll turn them around. Like, I only need to get 1 win there, and I'm fucking, like, my name's out there. Yeah. Because everybody else has failed there. You had some really good managers. Paul Waddy, John Inwood. There was a few, like, when the money dried up and couldn't turn it around, couldn't steady the ship. And I went there, I remember meeting the chairman. And when I drove all the way over to Woodford, I was like, yeah, fucking hell, it took me ages to get there. I had fuck all money. It was cost me about 30 quid to drive over there and back. And I sat in his kitchen, and he had this big fucking old glass ashtray with fucking loads of fag butts in it. Andy Worrell, his name was. And I said, he went, all right, kidder, or something like that. And I went, you're all right, yeah, sound. He said, do you want the job? And I went, I want the job, but have we got any budget? And he went, what I'll do is, I'll give you 50 quid a week as gaffer, and I'll give you £100 per win you've got. I've gone, yeah. When I've got in the motor, I thought, they ain't won in 54. So it's going to cost him fuck all. Yeah. So anyway, I've accepted it. Thought, fucking hell, it's like weirdest thing ever. I always remember that fuck off ashtray. It's massive. Like, biggest pub ashtray you've ever seen.
That fucking one from East End.
Honestly, that's what, if you wanted to kill someone, you'd smack him with that ashtray. That's how big the ashtray was. So then, he's gone, yeah. So I've phoned up fucking Duffy it was, who was like, at the time, one of my best mates. Like, listen, I've got you 50 quid a week, yeah, because 50 quid was mine. Yeah, so I was like, got you 50 quid a week, come play, you'll score us goals, we'll sort it out. So I remember went over, done a couple of training sessions, mate, I didn't know what I got myself in for. No. Anyway, 4 or 5 games in, we beat Blackstones 2-1 away, and remember he come up to us, we're all buzzing. I'm getting phone calls from the Sun, Talk Sport. I'm like, fucking hell, I'm fucking famous, man. Fucking famous. It's brilliant. And then thinking, where's my winner? Yeah? Straight away I'm thinking, where's my winner? Straight away. That's the only thing I was thinking. I was thinking, yeah, I won. Like, the first lad who's done it, like, that's what I set myself to do. Where's my winner? So I've gone to see the chairman, he's buzzing, he's going, Blackstone's away, they give you fish and chips after. So they were having the chips. Remember me, Eddie Stewart, Steve Grimley, all of us, we're all buzzing, dancing around. And we was shit.
Is that the same Steve Grimley at Blismore now?
Yeah, we was shit. And
Yeah, Stewart's there as well.
yeah, Eddie's the manager or assistant manager. And gone in and seen the chairman, thinking, yeah, sweet, nice £100, like buzzing, stick that in my fucking pocket. And then he's gone, there you go, mate, get all the boys a drink. And it was like 25 quid. So I was like, all right, maybe he's giving me 25 quid and then he'll give me the one when I see him next. No problem. And then we had a midweek game, that week against Newport Pagnell. Yeah, and it was a league cup. They was in the Prem, we was in Division 1. We beat them 3-1. I can't remember at the time, they might have come with a weaker team, whatever, or they might have just underestimated us. We beat them 3-1. So I've gone to the chairman, 200 quid. Yeah, I'm buzzing. I'm thinking, fucking sound, I'm 200 quid up, mate. I'm having it. I'm having it. He's gone, I can't pay you. I go, what do you mean you can't pay me when I ain't got the dough? I went, I'll tell you what, mate, I've won 2, I'll see you in a bit. I said, you stick to your agreement, otherwise I'm gone. He was like, I can't pay you. I went, all right, I'm done. And I left. I thought I'd done what I needed to do. I weren't going to get many more wins after that.
Did you take Duffy and the lads with you?
Yeah.
So where was next and after
So
that?
next after that, Bugbrooke phoned me and said, we want you back. It's a bit weird, to be fair. They had a reserve manager. He was quite a sharp manager, to be fair. His name was Chris Brown, not the singer. His name was Chris Brown, and his team was about 3rd in the league. And Fieldy was on his way out. I think he mentioned that he was going to only stay to the end of the season, or he might have left. And they sacked Chris Brown for me. They just said, we'll sack him just because we want you back, like, we love you. Sacked him. I think they maybe pushed him into the first team. Now took over, and I think we finished runners up, something like that. And then from there was a boy that scored the 2 goals at Blackstone called Harry Beckley. Still speak to him now. He's in the British Army. And Thomas Bailey phoned me at the time, and he was Kettering gaffer, and he said, we're interested in Harry Beckley. I said, and Kettering Town. I said, fucking hell, yeah, I'll drive him to you, mate. Like, great opportunity for him. I think he played for him at youth, and then he wanted him back. And then from that conversation, he said, also, my chairman wants to talk to you. So I go, fucking hell, what's your chairman want to talk to me? He said, we're creating under 21s next season, and he wants to see if you can do it. And then that's it. I went to, from there, I went to Kettering.
Yeah, nice. So what was your first feeling like when he said, I want to chat to you? Were you thinking it was a job somewhere? Or?
I was absolutely, I've never felt euphoria like it in football. When I want to chat with you, and then when I went and met him, rich businessman, owner of Kettering Town, Richie June, still speak to him now. And I remember fucking chance it a little bit and ask him, if you get paid for it. And I was like, do you want a job? Again, third job offer, and it was again same. Do you want the job? And I was like, I do want the job, but I'm Bugbrooke reserve manager. They've just sacked the reserve gaffer, and now I'm leaving at the end of the season to come to you. Yeah. I said, so I don't want nothing announced now. Let me speak to my chairman out of respect. And when I did speak to Kev, he was like, no, look, we're going to send you away on open arms. That's why I still got a great relationship with him. And if anything don't work out, we'll always have you back. Yeah, we'll once badger, always badger. And then, got that job, and I was it was just like joining Tottenham. Because it was just the biggest club in your area want you to be their under 21 gaffer. Yeah. It was amazing.
You mentioned there, did you get paid for it?
Yeah, I did, yeah. I've been paid everywhere.
Yeah.
I've never not been paid at a football club. No.
A bit more than £100 a game there?
No, I think I was...
Fuck me, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah, I think I was 75 quid, I think I was there. Yeah.
So I was a gamer, not for a win?
No, I was 75 quid if I won or lost, to me.
Yeah. Better than £100.
Yeah, better than £100 you never got. Yeah, I still didn't get that off Worrell. So, Worrell, if you're listening, you owe me 200 quid. And now it's up to 400 quid with interest.
Yeah, nice. Obviously, so I had a bit of a gap there. So Kettering under 21. So you won the league there as well.
Yeah, so first season I finished runners up.
Marcus Law, the fella used to be at Cobb.
Yeah, Marcus Law. So at the time, first year was Thomas Bailey, second year was Marcus Law. So first year runners up. Brand new team, had to recruit everyone, but when you offer the Kettering Town badge then, more so now because Conference North, but then it was very easy. You know, it was no budget at 21s or anything like that, but it was prospects of trying to get to the first team if you're good enough. So I literally handpicked from every under 18s. I knew the old Whitworth manager Ian Archer, and he had an unbelievable team at the time, really, really good, and they was coming to they were last years. So I just tied in with him, and I basically took all his good lads. So I think we had like Jordan Aroz, we had Ryan Archer, we had Nathan Bobovic, Silvano Obeng.
Oh, that's the dude that's at Blitzbeth now.
Yeah, Bobo, yeah.
Because when I was scouting him for Urchi, they
yeah.
were like, he's come from Harborough. He should be a good player.
Yeah, he's a good player. He just he's got family, and I think he just wants the enjoyment of football still without the mass commitment, which is fair enough. But yeah, unbelievable player. So yeah, got a lot of lads from there, and then got a few from elsewhere, and just built a super team. They were unbelievable. But first year we was up against MK College, who was unbelievable. They were really good players at the moment that played in that team. Manas Sundry, he's at St Albans now. We've got another centre back who's somewhere like Concord, where all my lads who played with me, apart from Silvano Obeng, never reached them heights. So they were
one of them that's at Canvey Island or somewhere like that as well.
Did I?
No, I'm sure there's one of them.
I think it was the centre back Luke Pennell. His name is left footer. But yeah, they were pep of 21s.
Yeah.
They just passed your head off. Really good.
Was you there till 2016 then, or was it?
So I had a year after that, second year, won the league there, and then what we was doing in the second year's league, it shortened. So I think we only had about 7 teams. Histon, Diamonds, us, Ainsby Rovers. There weren't. So you didn't have a game every week. So when you had Silvano Obeng smashing in all the goals, the weeks that he didn't play, all the UCL clubs were putting in 7 days saying, "Can we dual register him?"
Yeah.
But I didn't want him to go because as soon as he goes, he'll start enjoying it there, and I'm knackered without a striker. So then Richie June come to me and said, "What you need to do is you need to find a club next season and let them be your feeder club for the year, but you be the gaffer." And it was Bugbrooke.
Yeah.
So I phoned up Kevin. I said, "Do you want me to bring all these lads over? We'll bring a budget with us." We had like 300 quid.
Yeah.
Bring a budget with us. Only win bonus only. And we was unbelievable. I think we finished third. Yeah, we did. We finished third by like 2 points. We lost it by 2 points promotion in Div 1 in that year.
So yeah, that was behind Dove Town and Wellingborough Whitworth.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Research there.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, no, good. Yeah.
Well, I'll read there. You had good times there. Obviously, a couple of Manager of the Month awards as well in the UCL.
Yeah. Probably got about 7 now.
7.
Yeah, 7.
I counted less than that. But
what did you get?
I only.
You always over exaggerate. Do you know what I mean? It's like the fish you caught.
Well, like you say, I was only doing it off.
So what did you have?
I got 2.
I got 3 with Harborough.
Oh no, sorry. This is that's just for Bugbrooke.
Okay, no worries.
But that was only, let's say, hardest man to research. This is all from newspaper
Yeah, to be fair,
so.
I've not ever been a pro.
No.
So you never get that off me. I've only been Sunday League, and I think that's a good story.
Yeah.
You know where I've come from and where I've strived to do better. I've never been in an academy. I've never had a good manager who's guided me.
No.
Where I am now is through dedication.
Yeah.
Real dedication.
Yeah, nice. Good. Obviously, I see the team you had there behind you at Bugbrooke, or the team you had with you. James Freeman, called him your right-hand man.
Yep.
Craig Mander,
Yep.
is that right?
Yep.
He was the brains of the operation, he said.
Yeah.
Dave Thomas was the hard nut.
Yeah, a proper hard nut, to be fair.
And Jack Rhodes was a coach.
Yeah, young coach. Don't know what he's up to now, to be fair. I think Chopper does. Dave Thomas Chopper, he does.
Saying Chester.
Yeah, with Dan. Yeah, no, I think he does Sam Cobblers, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's maybe 12s or 10s.
Yeah. Jim Freeman's assistant manager at St Ives, and Craig Mander I lost touch with. I don't know. I don't think he's doing any football now.
Was it? Obviously, I know they followed you around a few clubs, didn't they? Or,
yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. But was that part of your success, them lads? Do you reckon, or was it all you?
Yeah, I would like to say it's all me, but you're only as good as your team, and you. Jim Freeman was still is one of my best mates.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah, owns a big bare knuckle company in London.
Oh right.
Yeah, like worldwide bare knuckle company. Yeah, so he has a lot of time.
BKFC, that one.
That's BKB.
Oh yeah.
BKFC's a Rivals, so we'll have to mute that. We'll have to put a beep.
Sorry.
But yeah, so I still speak to him now. We went Ives together as well, like further on the journey, and he stayed, and I went my separate ways.
Yeah. As Mitch is saying, you've got to have people behind you that you trust, people that you trust their opinion as well, because you can be the best manager in the world, but if you haven't got a team behind you, just the little things that need doing when you ain't got time for that shit.
Yeah.
You need people that you can rely on that will do that without you even asking, and then you're ready to go to do all the important stuff as well.
Yeah, the stronger your team, the stronger you are.
Yeah. Obviously, you said Jack Rhodes there. Did you say you lost touch with him? I read an article there. Obviously, you predicted big things for him.
I did, yeah, and I don't think he's involved in football anymore.
Is he not?
No, young guy. He had good energy. He had a good bit of nous.
Do you find the beers or the ladies or anything?
I don't know, to be fair. I've got him on Facebook, but he's very quiet on Facebook. Wish him happy birthday, but you know what it's like. Yeah, just drifted apart.
Yeah. Obviously, then when you did finally leave Bugbrooke, then that time you went to Kettering. Say Jim Freeman and Craig Mandercombe were. Yeah. What was the reason there? Obviously, you took out as an assistant. What's the reason for stepping down? Obviously, not having the main role yourself.
So, if you want me to be honest, Marcus Law that year finished outside the playoffs, and we was doing really well. I know there's difference in levels, and the board thought that the young buck Mitch Austin from the youth would be able to help him get better. And I think it was more of a board decision than Marcus Law's. I remember him phoning me and saying, I want you to be my assistant manager. And I just thought, with the level it's at and the size of the club, all the fans that they had every week, I'd be stupid to turn it down. Yeah. And then I just wanted Jim to come and Manda out a bit of loyalty, if I'm honest. It's my gig, but I just wanted to give something back, and it was down to them to bring something to the table, which, if looking back, we probably could have all done a little bit better.
I know you've been, obviously you were in Kettering before, like you said, under 21s. Does it make it easier taking them two with you, settling in?
Nah, because I knew a lot of people there, but again, it was probably sentiment that I took them.
Right.
Especially Jim, I wanted him to come on a journey. Jim played for me at Woodford. I remember he played the first game. He signed him, and he played at Blackstones. And we was gone on that little bit of a loss. I think it was like 6-7 losses, and he signed him, and then in the change room after this sort of banter, he went, I don't know what all the fucking fuss is about, because we won the game, and he was like taking the credit. I think he only got about fucking 10 minutes, but it was my gig, and I just wanted them to come along for a bit of loyalty, to be honest.
Yeah. Right. So you seem to do it right. Obviously, you got playoffs. Playoff semi-final.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, I got sent off in that.
Did you?
Yeah.
As a manager?
Assistant manager. Yeah, I got sent off in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously lost 3-1. I did. The video is still online. I did have a look at it earlier. And
I'm fucking losing the head as I walk down. It was so at the time we had a guy there called John Ramshaw, who was the old assistant manager. And basically he had to be demoted to get me in, but he was way more experienced than me. The ideal thing would have been keep John as he was. John's won the conference with, I think it was Mansfield, with him and Coxey. The better thing to do would have been to keep him as assistant and me as first team coach and learn off him for a year. Just shadowed, instead of taking his role. And as much as the relationship was good, his ability and experience outweighed mine. So from what he brings to the table point of view, he was the better candidate to fit the assistant role. Bear in mind, been 21's manager, UCL manager, he's won the conference. It's fucking massive difference. Do you know what I mean? There's and I remember the club didn't want him around, and I got along with him that well. I said, no, keep him. But as the later the season went on, John wanted to take credit for what he was bringing to the table as well. And I think we had little bit of a, not a Barney, but it always used to be this stupid thing of who would stand up.
Because you're only allowed two coaches to stand up, yeah. Oh, right, yeah.
So then he would stand, I would stand. The coach, the liners would say 2 standing. Then me and him would have a fucking barney. It was all really unprofessional. But
in front of the boys as well. When
the boys, it didn't matter with the boys because the boys knew the situation. To be fair, I was forced into saying that in reality I wasn't ready for. And John was, if I'll be brutally honest, if we're going to be open about things, John was the credible candidate to be the position that he was in, with his experience and his knowledge and his know-how. You know, he knew the levels where I didn't. I was just a young buck trying to ruffle some fucking feathers, if I'm honest. And then the lino said to us, sit down. He wouldn't sit down. I wouldn't sit down. Then he sat down, I stood up.
Surely the gaffer looks along and says, wouldn't you sit the fuck down?
No, Marcus Law had no direction over us. Yeah, I still speak to Marcus now. I'll tell him myself. If it was a board decision, I believe it was a board decision and not a Marcus Law decision. He probably got to the point as well where he was a little bit pissed off that the fact it was a board decision. I think it was basically the ultimatum was, look, I might be speaking out of turn, but it would be beneficial to him to hire me because he'll have more chance of keeping his job. Which, listen, it is what it is.
Yeah. I'm guessing it's all the second half. Obviously, you were 1 down, pulled it back to 1-1. What was it like in the change room there? You think, like, that's it, we're back in the game. It was you. Was it like we're going to do
I always listen. I'm not here to coat anybody off, but I always felt like Marcus was very tactically aware of games of football, and he knew the level. You know, he had great tactical knowledge, but as a motivator, I always felt like he could bring more to the table. But I don't think you could be all round and good at everything. You know, you've got to be probably good at one thing and then lacking the other. That's probably where John Ramshaw was unbelievable motivated. If you believed in him, if you could take the bollockings from him, he was very old school. But I believe if John Ramshaw was the manager of that team, we would have been. They would have probably games like that. They would have probably seen through.
After that, it was Silby. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the drop down? Was there an option to stay at Kettering with Marcus Law?
Nah, it got to the point where it was just things weren't working.
Quite untenable, yeah.
Yeah, to an extent. I weren't enjoying it. I weren't getting much out of it personally.
As soon as that switch flicks in your head, you need out, don't you?
Yeah, I was done.
I've been at clubs where you just sit back and you think, what the fuck am I doing?
I remember going Dunstable away. It's really unprofessional to be fair, but it was Dunstable away, and it was Rammers and Marcus were just talking shit. And I remember sitting there, and I got up and left during the game, and I went home.
Yeah.
And I just thought, fucking tired of it. Shit, I don't like being around them. At that time, didn't like being around them. They weren't doing anything for me. And then at the end of the season, there was a few players I was really close to, and the secretary was saying, who do you want as assistant next season? Mitch, Rammers or Luke Graham? And then I just thought, well, I ain't having no one fucking trying, I don't want to outstay my welcome. The secretary was a little snide, and I just thought I'd go fucking do it on my own. I'll do my own journey. I don't need fucking any of them.
So I read somewhere there, someone at Kettering described you as a natural number one.
Yeah.
Who was that, you know?
I think it was the chairman at the time.
Was it?
Yeah, Dave, can't remember his surname.
So would that not have sort of swung his mind to sort of, do you know what I mean, give you the main role there?
I weren't ready for it.
No.
I probably could have done alright just out of natural leadership, and you would have recruited players just through the name, but I wasn't ready to be the success that they needed.
No.
Hence the next season they went and won it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, they went and won it, so the choice was the right one.
Was that with some of the players that were there when you were there?
Yeah. Got a bit of claim to fame. I signed Gary Storer for them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Still there?
Yeah, still there. They love him.
Captain now, I think.
Yeah, captain. Yeah, signed him. I remember he didn't play for about 10, 15 games, and the lads used to say his nickname was Zizu because he was that good in training. And they said, why aren't you playing? If you got nudes of gaffer, or you gaffer fucking, you got a bee in his bonnet about you, agenda. And he was like, nah, and he was just so professional. And then look at him now, 200 games. Credit, really proud of him.
It's good to hear from some of our listeners, because obviously I presume there's a lot of kids, especially at my 18s, that are in my fucking ear hole all the time. Gaffer, I've only got 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there.
Yeah.
It just proves you can go 15 games without even playing, and now look at him, like he's probably one of the best players at Kettering.
He's just been named in a legend squad, and that don't come. He's surrounded by absolute legends there, so credit to him. Very professional, you know, and all down to himself. All I did was open the door. He was the one that, you know, done what he's done now, and superb. Tip my hat to him. Just got a terrible trim.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, he's got a bad trim.
Yeah,
good, but great kid.
So Silby offered you that number one role anyway. I read somewhere as well that you were warned not to go to Silby.
Yeah.
What was that about?
Just because historically it's known as a shit club.
Yeah, but if you listen to any kind of talk like that, you'd never go to any club.
No, but
got their opinions about every club.
Silby more than most. All of the previous managers have either been shit on or left under, a dark cloud. It's the committee. I remember when I left Kettering, they was just about to sign a bloke from Milton Keynes, Shreves, I think it was. And they said, when we've heard you've come available, would you come up and talk to us? So I went up and spoke to him. Literally, the thing that benefited me was it was 2 minutes away from my house. I had young twins at the time, and I thought everything just suits. And I'd be the one that would turn them around, where everybody would hate going there or despise being their gaffer. I wanted the one to show them in a good light.
Yeah.
And I tried my best, and it didn't work out.
Was that down to the owners again, or was it?
Yeah. I remember we.
I don't know, a mid-table finish at 9th. That's not exactly not working out, is it?
Crap.
It's not bottom of the league, kid.
Nah, crap. Definitely mid-table. You know, even at the moment, me being mid-table in the Southern League, I'm bitterly disappointed.
Yeah.
In Division 1 at the time, I remember we won our first game of the season. We went away to St Andrews. Bearing in mind the season before they got relegated, they was on a massive losing streak as well.
Yeah.
We went to St Andrews away. We won 3-1 the first game of the season. And as we was walking off the pitch at St Andrews, there's like a little bit of concrete that you walk down, and they had the committee members all lined up, and they all went, shook my hand, chairman, blah blah blah. There was this other guy there called Steve, can't remember his surname. And as I was walking down, I was just shaking their hand, and somehow, fuck knows why, he's put his finger out. And I've shook his fucking finger like a todger. And I always remember, but what he was doing is he didn't have any respect for me that he couldn't open his hand. It was fucking finger or fuck all. But I didn't, if I'm honest, look back at it now, you go, fuck all. But I didn't realise I'm going down and I've just got to a fucking finger. So I've shook this fucking finger and I'm like, here's a cock. Straight away, here's a cock. And then, a lot of the problems were down to him. A lot of the problems. Yeah, mate. Listen. He's even when I was interviewed or asked up to come for the job, we were sitting at a big, 6-seater table, and we was looking out onto the pitch, and he was sitting in the end. And I remember he was turned in his basically the side of his head, and he was looking out at the pitch. And he's all going, yeah, we want you to be gaffer, this much budget, that much budget, brilliant, you've done really well. And I said, is he alright down there? I said, because fucking hell, he's looking at the fucking grass. And he turned around and he went, yeah, I'm alright. And I just thought, well, he's just an old miserable bastard.
There is some dinosaurs in local football.
He is. It's actually quite funny because I haven't been back to Silby since I left, and I went over to watch Moulton and Silby the other night. I wanted to have a look at that Joey Evans again. And he walked past and he's turned round and he's gone, is that you, Mitch? And I've gone, and I thought, anytime I ever, in my mind, I was like, anytime I ever see this geezer again, I'm going to let him have it a little bit. How it ended. And he come over and I couldn't, just because of his age, and I'm quite respectful for that with the elderly. And he's not elderly he's dumb.
Just because he's old, don't stop being an arsehole.
And then he's come over and he's gone, yeah, I had a stroke, and I'm telling you what, I've never seen him so nice. And I thought, do you know what, I'll let him have it a little bit, because since then, done what I've done in the UCL, Southern League manager, he's step 5 or 6, whatever they are. Step 6? Yeah. So then I was like, well, since I left here, I've done a lot better, innit? And he was like, yeah, you have. And he knew everything. He was like, how's your business is going well? How's your kids? Seen you've signed a few players in and out. So what's going on there? And I just thought, you know what? He's an old boy. Imagine he was a bit of a prick then.
Seems like he's had a bit of a pie now.
Well, he's got to, isn't he? Sam it right. He's got to. He's sitting there and you're thinking that. But then, you know, proof's in the fucking pudding, isn't it? If you're going to go do it, you know, if Steve doubted me, we actually had a meeting. There was a couple of things that led up to it. So earlier you mentioned Jack Riley. Well, in the winter, you can't train even on the training pitch at Silby. So we were on this really good run at the time before it sloped off. Bearing in mind I left just after Christmas, and he stopped training on the training pitch because of the how nice it was. But they didn't give us Western Fable goals or anything like 3G or anything like that, so we had nowhere to train. So we went to Long Bugbrooke, we lost 1-0, and Jack Riley come off the pitch and he said, Steve, you're fucking killing us. Fucking let us train on the fucking pitch, for fuck's sake. We're going to games, can't even train. That game finished, he went, unless Jack Riley's out of this club, I'm not putting my budget in anymore. Yeah, because he was the bit of a money man. I'm not putting my budget in anymore. I've gone, mate, he's only because he couldn't take it. Couldn't take someone piping up to him. Excuse me. So then that all died down. We played quarter final of the lower junior at Silby, and we had Desborough reserves who were top of the league. Bear in mind, they were top of the league. We was like, let's say we're fifth in step 6. There ain't much of a big difference when they're flying.
Not really, is there?
We beat them 3-1. Nobby, the chairman, he was ecstatic. We had Kettering Nomads in the semi-final at theirs. Went to Kettering Nomads on their small pitch. We're all quite a young team. One of our lads got sent off, Elliot Lamb Johnson. They beat us 1-0. Gone into the clubhouse. First thing he said to me was, I think we need to have a chat in the week, don't we, about the money. So straight away I knew they were renowned for cutting the budget. I said, all right, whatever. So he's phoned me and he's gone, let's have a meet. So I've gone up there, I said to my staff, meeting's at 8, I went at 7. They just thought it was at 8. Thought I'd go there, take the shit before they come, be professional about it, try and finish the season, because obviously I don't want to look like I'm jumping around. And he went, yeah, we're cutting the budget, we're going to save it for next season. I went, all right. So I said, let me speak to my boys and see who will stay. Messaged all the boys, said, boys, the budget's gone. Who's going to stay and play for me? And everyone went, yeah, apart from Courtney Herbert, because he worked on Tuesday nights. We had a lot of Tuesday night games. He said, but if I can, I will. I was like, all right, sound. Phoned the chairman next day. I said, Nobby, good news, mate. Spoke to all the boys and they're all saying that they're going to stay even with no budget. He went, oh, good. He went, and what about Jack Riley? I went, what about him? He went, well, he's got to go. And I went, so you're going to cut the budget and then you're going to ask me to take the keeper out as well when he's on nothing? I went, I tell you what, mate, I fucking had enough. And then they said to me, I'll always remember it, because I'm from the council area of Eastern District, and I used to bring all my mates who knew me to come watch the games. But you'd have a few of them behind a dugout, they'd probably smoke a spliff. Yeah, they'd be smoking a fag. Not me, but my friends from the Eastern District, from the area. He went, and you talk, there'd probably be fucking 40 lads behind, just having but all paying to get in, bear in mind.
Yeah, you forgot about the 40 lots of 9 quid.
Yeah, all the dough coming in. Getting, listen, Silby might be on the outskirts and they might think they're posh. They're on the borders of the council estate, mate, and we're council kids. So to get Silby lively and to get fans in, which they never fucking have, they need the council area to get involved.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's what I was doing as a council boy. I was getting my pals in to come and watch. And he went, we think you're a little bit Sunday League. That's what he said to me. And I worked my bollocks off, like, for all my journey, for him to say that. And I just went, well, if you think I'm Sunday League, then that's it.
Then I'll go back to Sunday fucking
No,
league.
well, I just thought, if you don't respect what I bring to the table, and you see him in a different light, my journey's not going to end here, and I'll go again. And I fucked him off.
Does that make it all the sweeter than just when you did finally see him again?
No, I just thought...
give him the finger and move on.
Yeah, I just thought, just because someone treats you like shit, you don't have to treat them like shit at a later date. Do you know what I mean? My point's proven. Yeah. He thought I was Sunday League. I'm now 2 leagues above him. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? They're, you know, he's got to eat the humble pie. I'll try and... The thing is, you've got to look after people on the way up, because you come back down very quickly.
Do you think... it's a shame about Silby, like that in that manner. Look,
No.
not
No.
the people there, but the club itself.
No.
I mean, it's in a good location.
No.
No,
I think the answer's no, George. I get the feeling it could be a no.
No. I think Silby until, you know, I don't wish death on anybody, but till that committee pass, that will be a shit club.
I'm going to dig out the Silby manager here as well, because we played him on Saturday and he's supposed to send me the fucking video and I still not got it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
right. So, no, obviously the point I was trying to make there was
Is the potential that it's got? Yeah, in the right hands, it's
Potential
unbelievable.
sleeping giant, is that what you're saying?
no, but it's a good pitch. It's a good area, surrounded by houses. It could get big numbers in there.
Yep. But they don't want it there. They're a pretentious. It's a pretentious committee that don't want to invite council estate. When do you ever see that Silvy's got a game? Why? Because they don't want people up there.
No. Doesn't even stay on the outside of the ground, does it?
It's somebody's back garden, and it always will be.
Yeah.
Until they pass, you know. As I say, I'm not wishing death on anybody, but until 10 years down the line, until somebody can go in there as an actual football man, instead of a bloke who's got loads of dough and attitude, then it'll always be the same. And I won't be the first or the last person to say that.
Do you think there's too many business owners in local football rather than football people?
No, because I think both come hand in hand. If you're in a position of wealth that you can afford a football club and to, you know, spend some of your money out, I think you probably need a businessman who's done quite well to be able to support that. You're not going to be able to get a great football man who's got no dough, because you're not going to get anywhere. You're always going to be at a level where you're not going to improve. Silby has massive potential to be great, and certainly somewhere that I would look at the future that I would like to, you know, if the opportunity ever come about, to take over that club, because I know that I could turn it into a real asset to the community. That's what it needs. It needs to be inviting the local community, especially the council community, because, you know, that's where you get some of the best players. That's where you get some of the best people, if not the best, on the council estate, with the people that struggle. You know, we've got to strive for everything in life. You know, if they're going to pay their hard-earned money to come and watch her, replicate that on the pitch, they'll have a few beers in the bar. You know, and they've got, you know, a 5-minute walk to their house to go home. You know, there's Howes Owen, for example, in the middle of a massive, I don't know if it's a council estate or not, but it looks like an old council estate, get 1,000 people a week.
Yeah, nice.
If you could get Silby to 500, if it had a bit of success, it could just go from strength to strength.
A little bit different compared to London Tigers, 8 attendance here a week.
Yeah, a little bit.
Obviously, look, I've listed a few of the players there, a few good local players then.
Yeah.
Was you responsible, like you say, for bringing all them in? And
Every one of them.
yeah, and obviously, like, they're from them sort of backgrounds as well, aren't they?
Yeah, all the boys have been on a journey together. So
you're claiming Courtney's moved to the Cobblers, yeah?
no, before when Courtney was a proper player for Bugbrooke, yeah, I had no association with him. He done that all on his own blood, sweat and tears and ability. And what a journey he did have. It's a shame that he didn't do more. If I'm honest, and he'd probably look back and think I could have done more. You know, you don't have Knights beating Liverpool at Anfield as well, wasn't it? You know, being part of that squad. He had great, you know, he had unreal pace. He was a great leader. He was a great winner. He probably was disappointed that he didn't kick on, and probably non-league football didn't do it for him, if I'm honest. And that's what you find with a lot of boys. When you get to a height and you can't go, or you don't go further than what you want, non-league don't really interest you. But he did have a great non-league career with that as well.
Yeah.
No, good. Obviously, then next it was Rothwell. You called this the best club you've been at one point.
Yeah, 1 point, yeah.
What was so special about Rothwell?
It was absolutely on its arse. Another like council area club. So Rothwell really suited me. It was a little bit ugly. It's a little bit of an horrible place to go when it wanted to be, and it had a lot of fight about it and a lot of spirit. So it was a perfect match. And I remember when I watched them, they invited me down. They had Boston. They had Deeping at home, and they had unbelievable defenders, and I had unbelievable attackers. Courtney, Ashley Eels, Niall Duffy, Elliot Lamb-Johnson, Dylan Hewitt, just to name a few. And I thought if I brought my attackers and kept their defenders, we'd be decent. And that's what we did. Went in there, we had £15 win bonus. We never got it. We never ever got it.
Familiar?
Yeah, we never ever got it.
Familiar story.
We had the best. We broke the FA Cup records, the furthest in the FA Cup, furthest in the FA Vars, first ever League Cup final. We was the highest placed Northampton team, finished in the league, all on no budget.
Yeah.
We've done really well, and it was what Rothwell was after the disappointment of Silby and the Sunday League statement. I thought if I could do it at Rothwell, I can do it anywhere, and I did it.
Like rising like a phoenix.
Yeah. I knew if I could do it there, and I put the hard graft, done all pre-season myself, recruited myself, begged, borrowed, stealed, got a good goalkeeper in, kept the back line, looked after the alpha boys there, Jordan Henderson. You looked after Jordan Henderson looked after the team. You know, there was little things that you just had, and then you just had to create a good mentality, and the mentality was us against the world, because we had a shit pitch, we had a shit ground. We had a shit clubhouse. Everything was like siege mentality. It was like, come and get us, because we're going to let you have it. And everything was just real positives. And then a bit sour at the end. I didn't want to continue. I brought an assistant in. I didn't really like him. He then wanted to be joint. The players were begging me to come back. Yeah, it was a shit ending, to be fair. It was one of the best clubs that I joined, and I had real honest emotion for. So my top 3 clubs right now, Harborough, not because I'm the gaffer, Harborough will always be my number 1. It was always Kettering, but Kettering's off my list now because not off my list, I'm still a fan, but it's not in my top 3. It's Harborough, Bugbrooke, and Rothwell.
Do you not find when you end up in a situation where there's co-managers, it might as well be like the old championship manager vote of confidence?
Yeah.
You know the writing's on the wall when you get a co-manager.
I brought him in, to be fair, and as assistant, and then he wanted to be co-manager, and I just thought, I'm better than you. You ain't done nothing in football. Done a couple of reserve things. I said, done nothing in football, and I didn't have the respect to give him the position as joint. I didn't think he was worthwhile. So in the end, it was writing was on the wall. But I was always only going to have a year there anyway, because I knew I wouldn't be able to replicate in year 2. No budget, the Vars success, the FA Cup success, everything was only a year's process. Because it was like a wedding, a marriage. The first year's fucking fantastic. Do you know what I mean? Get to year 7, which would be year 2 in football, for example, you get the itch, don't you? You're like looking around, then you get other clubs.
That was the reason why I wasn't married, George.
Yeah, other clubs start looking around you and going, look how well he's doing on no budget. Give him a grand, see what he can do. Do you know what I mean?
So, one thing I wanted to touch on, obviously, record-breaking FA Cup run there. What was that like? Because, I mean, I've seen that, and I've thrown myself back to when I was a kid. FA Cup, I loved the FA Cup. That's the tournament you want to be playing in, and for you to go on a good run in there.
Yeah.
What was that feeling like?
Yeah, it was good. I remember we. I think we was in. I can't remember what round it was. It was one of the prelims, but we had Royston away at Royston, and they were Southern League Prem at the time. They would have been 2 leagues above us. And I had a phone call in the morning. So who the fuck is that? And it was like, hello, is that Mitch Austin? And I went, yeah, it is. He went, it's blah 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 from TalkSport. And I went, oh, hello, mate. He went, what we're doing is we're doing a feature on Rothwell in this round of the cup, and what we're going to do, every round you win from here onwards. So it was us versus what's that seaside town? No.
Skegness?
No, not Skeggy, near Skeggy. I don't even know if it's near fucking Skeggy, to be fair. Oh, God, it'll come to me. Anyway, they was following them in the previous round. What happens is, the team that wins, they take over. Near Scarborough. It's fucking probably not even near Scarborough. I'll get it soon.
We'll get a text from it.
Yeah.
I remember that fucking
Yeah, my
team,
brain's terrible. I've got work on my mind. So, they was following them. We beat them, and then...
You took the mantle of the follow.
Yeah, so I'm sitting there and they're going, yeah, how are you going to go? And I'm going, yeah, I'm going straight at them. I'm going to attack them from the minute off, and they're going to get it. We're not going to hold anything back. Where really, I should have just sat back, soaked it up, tried to get like a 1-0 win, or try and only get defeated 2-0. Yeah. We got beat like fucking 6-2 or something, like 7-2. Yeah, cheers. I'm trying to say 6, and he said 7.
No, 5-2.
Yeah. So, but yeah, great journey. All them experiences being on the radio. I think we made about 15 grand for the club, which was well needed. And I say add that to the Vars, which I think we made about 6 grand. Add that to some brilliant away days. coach journeys, back to the clubhouse, giving us the keys to the clubhouse, and just went, drink what you want. We're not going to be here. You lads look after it. Give us the keys back tomorrow. We was on the pitch. I remember Duffy pissed out of his head. We're putting fag butts out on his bum, and we're playing penalty shootouts for 50 quid. We've switched the lights on at 4 o'clock in the morning. It was just the journey.
Fuck yeah, if I turn the lights on at my club 10 minutes before the game, I'm in the shit.
The journey was, because we made them a few quid, they was like, we can't give it back financially, but go fucking drink the bar. And yeah, we drank the bar, mate.
Yeah, savage.
Yeah, it's proper.
It's the FA Cup though, mate, because my experience is nothing like yours, Mitch, in the FA Cup. But obviously with the FA Youth Cup this year, we beat Wellingborough, Whitworth's in our first prelim.
Yeah.
Mate, it's like I'd won the fucking World Cup.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just the joy and like jubilation of getting
Well, you got to think of your journey. You got to think, like, way back, I'm thinking 10 years can I be a UCL manager, and then you go, I'm in the FA Cup. TalkSport's calling me, you know, and you're like, all them things that you dream of, you know, it will sound cringe to some people. The people with the Wikipedias, it will sound cringe to them. The people that's been professional or academy, it will sound cringe to them. But you know, when you ain't had it and you strive for it and it happens, your journey's beautiful.
Well, that's it. Like, listen, look at me for example. I've been nowhere in football, but I dreamt of playing in the FA Cup. And, do you know what I mean? And that was the thing. FA
I'll
Cup,
play you next season.
Huh?
I'll bring you on last minute next season.
That's what I said to fucking Lakers at Rawlins, mate.
Yeah, I'll just give you the last 30 seconds.
Yeah,
and you can say that you played in it.
That's exactly what I said to Deggers. If we're mathematically safe, Deggers, bring me on for the last fucking 5 minutes. Let me live the dream playing at top 6.
Listen,
Come on.
that Harborough shirt have gone to all of us.
You ain't getting in a fucking Harborough shirt. Look at you.
Yeah, they do double X. No,
I ain't that fat.
borrow mine. What do you mean, yeah?
What? Fit the same size.
Okay, what are we on to next?
Put my weight up and quickly move on. Obviously, you said it's a sad ending there at Rothwell, but St Ives come next. I was going to ask you why you left, but obviously you just touched on that.
Rothwell was, I'll tell you why I left. I informed the chairman that it was only going to be a 1-season project. And what he said is, well, what I can do is next season I'll find you a budget. So I said, all I need is 300 quid a week. Bear in mind, this is in the Prem. I said, I'll get 3 players in at 100 quid. I'll get a defender, a midfielder and a striker. I said, I spoke to all the boys. They don't want their win bonus. Just get me 300 quid a week and I'll stay. So I remember he phoned me. He's gone, meet you in the Red Lion in Rothwell Tuesday afternoon. I was like, he's fucking got the dough. He's got the budget. That's it, lads.
Dancing down to the Red Lion.
Yeah, mate. I'm like, fucking sound. So I've gone down there. He's got this scrobe. So we're just having coffees, to be fair. I've got this scrobe out, like this, whatever it's called, scribe, whatever it's called, yeah? He come down and I think, oh yeah, he's got the 300 quid, yeah, I'm buzzing. That's it, lads, I'm staying. So I'm drinking coffee and that, and he's gone, listen, I can't give you 300 quid. Straight away, my heart sunk.
Dropped out,
yeah, because I loved it. Yeah. And I thought, this is the end. And he's gone, but what I can give you is a car park. So they ain't got a car park at Rothwell. So I give you a car park. On a fucking car park. So what am I going to do in a car park? Put boot sales there to get 300 quid a week. I said, listen, I'll be honest with you, mate. He was like, what we'll do is me and you will go around all the local businesses and we'll drum up sponsorship. I went, listen, I've got my own, I need to work for myself. Yeah. I'm not a sponsorship director. I said, I'm done. And then I just knew that day I was done. He couldn't even give me 300 quid. Yeah.
Like, I mean, we're looking back, how was that? That's 1920 season.
Yeah.
It's not like we're looking years ago.
Is that the arse end of the COVID season or just?
Yeah. Before when COVID just come about. Because the cup final that I got into, they postponed it to the year after. So the bloke that wanted to come in as co-manager, he ended up taking over. And he had just had a straight final. And he took the final like it was his. I remember going there watching. I thought maybe they'd give me a medal like that, because I would, out of being professional and that, and how swings and roundabouts go around. Yeah. Club should give me a medal, and they didn't. Yeah. And I always thought, fuck yes. So yeah, we move on. So you won my cup final basically.
Is that the?
Bet he puts it down on his fucking achievements.
Probably, yeah.
I guarantee it, mate.
It's about the fucking only one he's got.
Who would that come down to? Would that just be the chairman, do you reckon? Not giving him a medal?
It's down to the manager, mate.
Nah, I say chairman as well. The chairman was a prick because obviously I mugged him when he said about the scrobe.
Yeah.
So what are you doing with, what am I going to do with that? the problem is people can't take facts. You know, I'm very honest. You know, I'm not an arsehole, but I'm honest. I don't want to shirk away from anything that's, you know, not black and white.
Right, okay then, so your time at St Ives, obviously the way you left Rothwell, St Ives is a new task. You got Jim Freeman back in with you. Was he with you at Rothwell? No.
No.
Right. How did that come about? Him coming back for you?
Probably needed someone to share the car journey with.
Yeah.
Eddie's is good crack, to be fair. It's good value for money.
No, so that's good. Obviously, what happened at St Ives? You were only there for 4 months, like so.
So I had a call before pre-season just to say would I come in at St Ives with Ricky Mahoney and Bully Adams as first team coach. And I thought about it, and I just thought it don't suit me. And Bully Adams ended up leaving, and Ricky Mahoney got hold of James Algar and said, would things change if Mitch was offered the number 2? And I said, well, Southern League Prem, back to the same level what I was with Kettering. Ricky Mahoney is someone that I really respected from the outside, and he was nothing but good as gold with me, to be fair. He was, again, one of my best mates in football now. Had a really good journey, done really, really well, and that's when, 4 months in, Harborough came in for me. Yeah. And I said to him, what shall I do? And his words were, if somebody else went there and won the league, how would you feel? I said, I'd be devastated. He went, can you go win the league there? I went, yeah. He went, we'll go do it. You got my blessing.
Yeah, nice.
And I left.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Obviously then, so you took the job, went to Harborough Town. Just before we move on from St Ives, I was going to ask you, did you take much from your time at St Ives?
Yeah. What the crack was with Ricky, as much as you was assistant manager, you was actually joint managers, because all the decisions would be together. Yeah. So you knew where it's the polar opposite to Marcus Law. I knew the budget, I knew whatever every player that played. I picked the team with him. Saturdays with Marcus Law, you turn up and he had the team, you wouldn't even discuss. So he gave me every insight in how to be better, how to manage a decent budget, not a massive budget, a decent budget, how to manage emotions as well. I was very, not fiery or volatile, but he would also teach me how to deal with people in an assertive manner without being aggressive. So it would be, say if you said something in front of the lads, and there was one particular Tamworth away, I said, we was crap, lads, we're crap, and this boy's gone, we ain't crap. So it was a back and forth. He said, what you should have done, he said, this ends now. What we'll do is me and you personally will have a conversation after, instead of dragging it on in here, which is only going to go down one road, and I'm not going to end up maybe doing something, or letting you know how I feel in front of everybody. So he taught me a lot and still teaches me a lot now, and I learned a lot from him, and he's probably the best bloke in football that I've had a personal touch with, and he's had a real influence on my career.
Yeah, good. So obviously you moved to Harborough.
Yep.
October 2020, obviously you took the job.
Yep.
My research again, I looked on, obviously full time, you were in the UCL at that time.
Yep.
The 2021 season, there's nothing on there. What happened that first year? Was that the COVID year?
Yeah. So I joined with about 10 games to go. I think I played 2. They stopped it from COVID, and then what they did is they created a cup competition,
right,
which we played 6 games in. There was only a few of us, Chenix, us, can't remember the other teams, which we went on to win. So it was good grounding. Also, I got to see who was there that I wanted to keep without any massive pressure, winning it, and I just thought, well, I've won this cup. They haven't won one for ages in first team level. Good start, get the players in that and have a good pop at it. I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was.
Obviously, going into a new job then, and you've got this 6-team tournament, was there much, obviously when you go into a club you want to make an impression, was there much pressure on that tournament to sort of make an impression, or was it just,
just to see, it was basically put it back on them, and then just bring my style of management to it. I remember walking into the first training session, and I gathered them all up, and I was on my own. I kept the manager stayed assistant manager, which has been one of my best assistant managers ever. You'd never consider it. at the time. You'd think, oh, he's the old manager, he'll be out for himself, he'll want me to fail so he can take back over. He weren't. He was the polar opposite to that. Supportive, personal, intelligent, strict, regimental, but superb. Best assistant manager I've ever had, Stuart Spencer. I remember the first training session I walked in and I gathered them all together and I said, you lot might think you're winners, but you're not as big as winner as me, and if you don't do what I want you to do, you're not going to last here very long. There's the door, and if you don't like this now, you either do what I want you to do or you're out, and you're free to leave now. And everyone stayed, and then all I did is I sieved out the bad eggs and the lads who weren't good enough, and I brought in what I had better and just made a formidable team.
To be fair, from that kind of point, I feel like I'm doing the right thing, because that's very similar to what I did when I went in at 2018. To know it's different levels and stuff.
Yeah.
Basically, same speech. Come in and said, if you don't like the way I'm about to coach you, there's the fucking door out.
It's a fight. It's a fine line to manage that, because some people can put you across as arrogant and put you across as they could write you off straight away. But all I was doing is I wasn't doing it to be bullshit. I was just laying down the line.
You've got to put that assertive level in straight away, as people will take the piss if you don't.
Yeah, I was just letting them know that I'm here to be a success, and if you don't conform, you're out. You do it my way, and ultimately, from last year and where we are now in stages, has been a success.
Obviously, then, so your first real proper season was the 21 to 22 season.
Yeah.
And you couldn't done any better, could you? 102 points, won the league.
Yeah, 102 points, won the league, won the Hitchinbrook Cup, won the Champions of Champions. So there was UCL South, UCL North. We played the winners of UCL North. We beat them 3-0 at ours, 4-0 at ours. And then topped it off, I got Manager of the Year. So in 1 year I got 5 trophies. That COVID Cup from the previous, 3 the next year. Again, done the FA Vars record, done the Vars record, done the highest attendance record. Every record I broke. There's no records more to be broken.
See, when you were doing that, I was at Woodford Town Reserves, and I was even on the hoo-ha. Fucking Mitch Austin's winning fucking everything. He's winning a lot, and he's doing it in fucking style. And you take that moment back and think, fuck me, this manager knows what he's doing.
Yeah, well, if you look through the journey, as we spoke about, I've been through a lot of hard times, and I've had to find. It was always a lot of clubs are 1 year projects, because I wanted someone else to see me who could give me more. Instead of a car park, I needed a budget. You know what I mean? So it was like, just go and show your worth somewhere for a year, show everybody else what you're capable of. Someone will come in with the right tools to make you be a better builder or a better Sparky. Do you know what I mean? And that's what Harborough Town did for me.
What was the pressure like in that league like? Because I know Hinckley pushed you to the wire, really. I know 102 points, you win the league usually, but you're 99 points, most of the time you win a league. And Hinckley with 99 points, they were second behind you.
Good side though, Hinckley.
Yeah, very good, very, very good. Great style of play, really good gaffer, great team, better team last season what they are now, and they're steady now. Only added pressure we had a 3-year plan to get out of the UCL and done it in one. So there was no pressure, only had pressure from myself. Even now I've got a 3-year plan to try and get out of this league. And my chairman was really supportive of all the committee, and I'm like, I'm down in the dumps because we're 8th. And I'm like, well, really, that's fantastic. So it's only pressure that I put on myself, and then apply that to the players to let them know that they're winners. It's a lot of mental focus when you're trying to be the best. And only losing 2 games all season shows that I think it's one of the best ratios ever in the UCL. I think we only get beat by the young Buckby team that Courtney Herbert played for. I think we get beat by a little stat.
So what was the obviously start of the season, winning the UCL by 102 points, coming up to this league you're in now? What was the aim there at the start of the season?
So clubs was just to survive in the league. Mine was top 10. When I went top 10, I thought, with a bit of momentum, usually you get momentum with teams that do so well previously. Can we nick the playoffs? Then we had a bit of a bad start. We had Houzo in at home first, and then Stamford away second game. Two of the bit like Man City and Chelsea and Liverpool.
Tough to go to, isn't it?
We lost both of them. Remember the Houzo fans again. You're getting sacked in the morning, sacked in it, and I think you're fucking there again. You fat bastard, you fat bastard. I love it. I thrive off that.
Yeah, mate, I fucking love that.
Yeah, I thrive off that.
If someone's in the crowd calling me an arsehole, I've done my job.
They've taken your day out to give you a bit of abuse. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was for me, top 10 finish. Do as best we can. We didn't have many cup competitions this year. We haven't done well in the trophy. We lost to Basford. We've done quite well. FA Cup, I can't remember it. Couldn't be that stellar. But yeah, just the pressure that we put on ourselves, and it's been a great journey so far.
Obviously, your 3-year plan then.
Yeah.
I would say your aim this year was top 10, but obviously you're going in end of this year. You'll go into your second year. What will be the aim for Harborough Town next season? Playoffs next season. Yeah. And you honestly, you think that's an achievable target?
Well, it's like a boxer going into a fight. You ain't gonna say you're gonna lose, are you?
No.
So any doubts, all I've got to do is make sure that I work on the weaknesses of this year. I gave a lot of players who won us a league loyalty this year, kept them on. I'm not saying they haven't done me well, they have done really well. I think we would be in and around the playoffs if we didn't lose Paddy. The vocal point.
Yeah.
He scored us 25 goals last season. Ansu scored us 25 goals, yeah. Ansu didn't really hit the ground running this year, although he did score a lot in the FA Cup, and one game he got 6, so his stats look brilliant. And it's playoffs next year. We've had a bit of sightseeing this year. We've had some really credible performances. We've had some dire performances also. We lost the bottom of the league. We've got to take the good with the bad and mention that.
Swallow when you bottom
you
lose to the bottom of the league.
Team.
You look at it and you think, fuck me, this team are here for a reason, isn't
they lost 20 and I think they drew 1. So we was the stat that they beat first. I was banned for that game and I could only be in the stands. And my team is voice activated, so they need to hear me. And I'm not saying it was just down because I wasn't there, but it's certainly a factor.
That team obviously with Sammy Mould there, who was spoke to previously. Was that? Do you reckon that adds to his? Obviously, he recently took over at the time. There was a lot of press coverage around him. Do you reckon that added to that sort of fixture? Or?
he actually beat you, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's won the Mitch Austin Cup, so it's the only game that he's won since. So, fair play to him. Look, he's a young lad. He's got a lot to learn. He's beat me. Take it on the chin. It's one of them. We've got to be humble in victory, humble in defeat. Yeah. I know through them
I need to learn that.
Them games can happen, and it's just about just accepting it. You've had an off day. You become a statistic that nobody wanted to be. You actually will go down. Will Sammy Mould get them back into step 4 like I've done with Harborough? I don't think he will. I don't think he'll be there next season. No. So there'll be a lot for him to learn in this game. Yeah. He's got aspirations and he talks well and he talks a lot. But sometimes you got to back it up with your actions and deliver. But he has won the Mitch Austin Cup this year.
Give it a couple of years, Mitch. I'll be there trying to win the Mitch Austin Cup.
Yeah.
Obviously, Harborough Town as a club then, owners-wise, shareholders, are they? I mean, you on board with them? Are they nice enough?
It's the best club I've ever been out by a country mile. So chairman's Pete Dugan. I'd say he's probably one of my best mates. Yeah, I could speak to him every day. Yeah, we go on. We have away days together. We'll go and watch football together constantly. We'll go out together. We're constantly having meals together. It's just he's a great father figure. You got Lawrence Jones there, who's head of non-league football from conference down to step 6. In the FA, he's very well thought of. He's in a very prestige role. So I get a lot of backing off him. I get a lot of support of him. And you have a lady there called Maz Hayton, who's Lawrence's wife, who's unbelievable. She has a great. She's head of youth.
Like all the stuff in there, with like the food and all that.
Yeah,
I think I met
and she's head of youth. So it's like she does all the youth stuff. She's brilliant. Ex-Maltese international, women's international, ex-Leicester FA, a tutor, teaches coaches, teaches tutors.
So is that why she's in the introduction to football coaching on the FA portal thing?
Maz is really well thought of and really respected in the FA scene, and the coaching scene. She's brilliant, and she's been nothing but a great ally for me as well. The club has been a real blessing for me, and I've worked really hard to be lucky to be a manager of Harborough Town. I've had a lot of clubs come in for me, which they're aware of, and some very, very prestigious clubs. And
so I'm gonna ask a controversial question. I heard a rumour, but I'm not sure if you're going to confirm or deny. I heard that they were looking at you at the Scunthorpe job.
Nah.
That's what I got told. Because they went for the Peterborough sports manager, didn't they?
His Peterborough sports manager is legendary.
Yeah.
I can only aspire to be like him.
Yeah.
He's I've got a long way to go to even lace, one of his spare boots, let alone his normal boots. He's unbelievable. And you see his results last night beating, I think it was Altrincham, to try and keep him up. But if anybody can keep him up, it's Jimmy Dean.
He's took my favourite non-league player of all time then as well.
Who is that?
Dion Semby-Ferris.
Yeah, Dion Semby-Ferris. Yeah. He's one of Jimmy's boys.
Has he took Michael Gash with him as well?
No, Michael Gash is now the Peterborough sports gaffer. Yeah,
another non-league legend. Isn't he?
Yeah, but Jimmy's got a great future, and I aspire to be half as good as he is. And I actually spoke to him about somebody who came in for me, and out of everybody I spoke to, the last one was Jimmy, because I thought he'd give me the honest answer, and he said the heart goes where the heart wants, and I stayed at Harborough Town because that's where my heart is.
Yeah,
nice. Can you? Would it be relevant to name any of these prestigious clubs that come in for you?
No, because Harborough's my club, and we had
that
offers.
would sound like a very illegal tapping up, wouldn't it?
No. There was official approach from the club in question to Harborough. I was well aware. It was all above board. They wanted me to be their gaffer. Offered me a decent deal. Offered me a 3-year contract.
You're on a big old contract at Harborough.
Yeah, I'm on a 3-year. I've just signed a new 3-year contract. Yeah, my career will end at Harborough Town. I will do everything I need at Harborough Town. Yeah, I always had ambition to be Kettering manager, but I always feel like unless you're been in the pro game or you're an ex-professional or something like that, you'll never get credibility to be that manager.
Totally agree with you.
I like the fans, don't get me wrong, I've got a great relationship with Richie June, but I just don't ever think that I'll be in the fans' views good enough, which hurts, but then it also spurs me on to do well with the clubs. Harborough Town is my Kettering town.
Yeah.
And if I can do journeys with Harborough, I've got all the assets and tools to be able to be a success.
Yeah.
And I have people who love me. I always remember when I was speaking to them about this other club who's come in for me, they said, Mitch, just remember that all the success is down to you. And I just thought they're just giving me all the grace, everything. They value me. I'm well respected here. If I lose, they give me a cuddle. If they win, we have a beer. Everything is a support network that...
It's not the same at every club though, is it?
No, I'm very lucky, and people don't know unless you're there. It's the most professional non-league club I've ever been at. It pisses over big clubs locally.
Do you reckon they're going to do like the Dorking Wanderers type thing?
See, I love Dorking Wanderers. I watch it a lot. I watch it a lot. I watch it every Sunday religiously. That's it.
Yeah, I watch that as well.
And Mark White is someone that
looks like my type of chairman to me.
Yeah, and Gaff, to be fair, I've noticed that he'll say something on an episode, I'll go in next week and I'll go, fucking hell lads, fucking hell, and I'll start talking like him and I'll go, I hope they fucking watched last week's, because I'll just fucking repeat something you said. But
I'm exactly the same.
Listen, football is
if it works there, it works somewhere else.
Yeah, football's a magpie game, and by that is work out what someone does well
and steal it.
And steal it.
So that's good. You mentioned the fans there. So how many? What's the turnout for a Harborough game?
So our biggest attendance was in the FA Vars. I think it was the quarters, something like that. And we had 1,400 there. We had 1,100 when we beat Hinckley at home. About 6 games before the season finished. Averaging now in the Southern League, because it ain't been a success after the success story of last season, we're probably getting around 350. I need to get them at 500. But with that, I need to be successful. So I just need to have a really good year next year, get them into the playoffs.
Would you say though, with the fans there, that'd help?
Yeah. We have what we have is they're called the Fruit Shoot Squad. The ultras, but they're brilliant. So they're all like, you look over, and a lot of them are Leicester City fans. So it would be as and when the games. Last season, I was there every week, and they'd go, Austin's at the wheel, Austin's at the wheel. And they'll go, Austin, give us a wave, and I'll give them a wave. I go, fucking hell, mental. And I'm like, for me, talking about the journey, that's massive.
Yeah.
People will cringe about it.
Fuck that. It's like sitting in the stand calling you a fucking arsehole, isn't it? Do you know what I'm saying?
You're there, and you're like, okay, what's your next step? Make them successful. What's your next step? Get more fans in. What's your next step? Take them to another level. What's your next step? Get 1,000 in if you can. What's your next step? Try and get a big club down here in the FA Cup. What's your next step? So it's always next step. Like, something's got to get you going at all times. It's got to get me going. I've got to wake up every day and prove somebody wrong. I have to prove somebody. Otherwise, if I don't prove something wrong, I'm just here.
Plodding along.
I'm plodding. I need to prove something wrong every day because that gets me going. I'm up here. The Silby chairman's got to say I'm Sunday League. That, without knowing at the time, subconsciously spurred me on to be a success. I could have just flopped and gone, I'm a Sunday League manager. If Steve says it, I'm a Sunday League manager. But in reality, I'm not. What are you? What you don't get what you want in life, you get what you deserve.
I had a similar comment happen to me this season about something similar to that. Next game, pummeled the team 3-0.
Yeah,
it's
lovely.
Fucking have a bit of that.
Yeah, lovely.
Have a bit of that walking around like Conor McGregor with fucking this bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Lovely. That's what it's about. It's a good game. It's a good game.
Good. But as a club, you can see they're big. Obviously, I think the FA, they've done like a non-league special. I think it was last non-league day. They come into the club. Tony and Chenzo was there as well.
Yeah.
So there's big things going on at Harborough.
Yeah.
Are you going to have that fucking fella from the FIFA? He was at Millwall on Saturday, wasn't he?
Who is it?
The bald fella that runs FIFA.
He was at the World Cup. The director of FIFA.
Oh yeah, I know you're
He was
about.
at Millwall last Saturday. Down to Harborough Ecstasy.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Is it Infantino? Is that his name?
Yeah. I know you're on about.
Sitting proudest place at fucking Millwall Shed. Fucking hell, mate. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Is that that's a big thing? Obviously, I've done the FA. Introduced coaching this week.
No, you haven't, George. You've not mentioned that once in our group, mate.
But I see Harborough Town come up. I thought, fucking hell, I bet Mitch is on here somewhere. But that's what I mean. You got FA coverage covering Harborough as well. So is it something that Harborough are pushing as well, like to make themselves heard, basically?
Harborough is it's got so much ability to be big. And we have full-time staff. We have staff employed.
More than the FA celebrity. Harborough now on the Northamptonshire Football Podcast, mate. Sure, that's a little bit bigger than the FA, isn't it? I think. A big step for you, Mitch.
Yeah. No, I'm pleased to be here. It's been a good night. I've enjoyed it.
Listen, they'll get more shares this week than they do anywhere else.
Listen. The only problem is I ain't got fucking Wikipedia, so we've got.
Well, some of us are on Wikipedia. Just do it.
Yeah.
Someone will make you one anyway.
Yeah, someone make me a Wikipedia. I'll pay for it.
Sure, I got quite 300 quid just saying it.
Yeah, so.
So then, obviously the game this weekend, Coleshill.
Yeah, big one. Yeah.
So they're 3 places above you, 4 points ahead of you.
Yeah.
Massive game, yeah.
Massive game. I think where we've had a little slump against, we've done really well against teams in and around us, beat them, and teams bottom of the league we lost to. Second bottom is Dav. Third bottom we beat Dav twice. Third bottom we've lost to, and we've got to play them again. Fourth bottom we've drawn and lost to. Fifth bottom, we've drawn, we've got to play them again. So all them lower teams, for some reason, Howell's Owen, we go there and play like Barcelona, 1,300 fans. Corby at home, 700, Corby away, 700 fans, beat them 4-0. On their own turf.
How good was that? Sorry, as well. You didn't touch on that.
It was alright.
That's obviously local.
No, it's alright.
Bit of a rivalry there, isn't it?
Yeah, it was alright. Yeah, they're a
There's no rivalry if you win the game.
Yeah, it's alright. At the time, the gaffer was a prick. So I remember turning up to the game, and in the week he was suggesting that Harborough have invested heavily. Well, he wouldn't know what we've invested because only I know about that, me and my chairman. So for him, he was worried about us because he was talking about our finances, and then went to the game. I'm very respectful, win, lose or draw. He didn't even introduce himself before the game or wanted to conversate.
I'd want to win.
Well, I didn't. I was just focused on the job in hand, and I went in and I just knew. I said to that day, "You boys are going to win this game." And we had our tactics, we had our plan, and we beat them 4-0. And then at the end of the game, he shook my hand, and I said, "Remember, there's levels to this," and I told him. And then he left, and then my friend took over, Gary Setchell. So now it's a bit of a weird one because one of my best friends in football is now my biggest rival.
Yeah. Was that matter to the Ultras, do you reckon? Obviously.
Yeah, the Ultras, they had a bit of a tear up with them at ours, and slapped them up.
Yeah, we saw on Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, at Corby, a grown man punched one of the 14-year-olds in the nose, and we didn't make a big hoo-ha about it. They was nicking scarves and setting them alight. They come to ours, and I think they got slapped about a little bit, and then all of a sudden we can't deal with big games. But listen, we've won 2 this season against them. Next season will be a lot harder when Setch gets his team in place, but we'll still fancy ourselves against anybody.
At least it quite weren't as bad as the Tamworth.
Yeah, that was
getting kicked in the head on the floor. Isn't it? I've always been told in a fight, if the fella's on the floor, you fucking leave him.
You don't kick him out when he's down.
No.
Scumbags.
Yeah, he was gone, wasn't he?
Yeah, scumbag. So, look, there's rivalry, and to be fair, I like it when the little kids are sticking up for Harborough Town and their area. That's all part and parcel for me, as long as it's kept to fisticuffs and nothing else. And at the end of the day, it's a great learning curve when you get slapped about. Even, myself, I've had many as a kid growing up in London, and and it's character building. Having tear-ups, you don't really want to do it. Nobody wants to do it, but when you get pushed into things, you've got to look after yourself, haven't you? Yeah, win, lose or draw, you come out of it and you learn something from it.
Good man. So what's your prediction for Saturday? You're going to give us
Saturday we're going to win 5-0.
Yeah, good man.
No, tough game.
We'll get a WhatsApp message after you.
Yeah, if it's 5-0, FA will start fucking trying to look at me for betting purposes or something.
I think out of the 3 of us, the only one that can bet out of the 3 of us is in.
Yeah, I can't.
I don't know, no good at that either.
Tip I give you earlier, lad. If you'd listen, you'd have been alright, lad, wouldn't you?
Well, fuck that. He gave me a tip and I backed it and it come in nowhere.
Oh, shit. Three-legged horse.
Good luck for Saturday. We'll hopefully get you on in the season. And
I'll try and get some credible lads in for you. Gary Mills, Gary Mulligan, Algo. I'll try and Brett
if you're digging them out on the podcast, then they have to.
Yeah, they have to. Elliot Sandy had been another great one. Just took over at Spalding.
Funny that, because I think we've been in contact.
Yeah, Sandy's got. So I bet he's got some. They will all have great stories. My journey is different because it's come from Sunday football. So hopefully I can make a bit of Sunday football to Rich's sort of story at the end of it, and I'm hoping that this is just part of the journey, and there's more to come in years to come.
Good man.
You gonna tell him about your new sponsor? Or?
Well, we ain't confirmed numbers yet.
We'll talk about that another time.
Yeah. So you might have seen on a few posts. I've been sporting the Fiver Group hat. Mitch, you're gonna get beyond this podcast here.
Yeah, I'll give you some readies so you can get some footage in place and carry on the good work that you two are doing. I've really enjoyed tonight. As I say, if people can see the journey that Mitch Austin's been through, and then other people that come on here, it's a great thing you're doing, and you deserve some credibility and praise for it. So well done to you both. Hats off.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
Man, obviously great. Good luck Saturday. I can't wait to go to Harborough to watch a game.
I think it's 40 minutes away this one.
Yeah, half hour, max.
I'll put my foot down, but I'll see what happens. But no, good luck Saturday. Let us know the result, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll be in touch anyway.
And is there any socials for Harborough that you can be, not you personally, but the club?
Just the Twitter is just will give you up to date. So I think it's just Harborough Town FC.
Yeah. Have you guys got YouTube or anything like that?
We did have, but he's just left to go Corby. So we're actually, if we can make a shameless plug, we're looking for a videographer to video games and give us analysis, and it's a paid position. So if anybody is,
fair play, we'll share that.
Yeah, brilliant.
We'll put a post about that.
Or you boys could just be solely Harborough Town reporters. And
funnily enough, we've been offered that somewhere else as well.
We have to turn it down because we love what we do.
No, well done. You do a great thing. You cover a lot of football from Sunday League, UCL to Southern League, and I think you'll only go strength for strength.
That's the aim. Appreciate it, Mitch. Good man. Thanks
you
for coming in.
No worries. Thank you very much.
We'll see you in the end of the year.
Yeah, cheers. Sound.
Appreciate it. Yeah, that was good. That was good. I enjoyed that.